Hey there, Hofstra fans, and welcome inside the WV Mason Coaches Report on GoHofstra.com. I'm Julian Coltree, now joined by the head coach of the Hofstra Pride Field Hockey Team, Kathy Angelis. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Pleasure being here.
Well, we'll start with the couple of games that you guys had this past week. Before we get in depth on what happened, what were your thoughts on what you guys played?
Well, we're getting better, and that's the most important thing, focusing on how we as a team and individually can get stronger.
Well, zone in first on that game against the University of Richmond. They had a lowly record coming in, I guess you could say, but they really had some top talent. You guys get shut out 4-0. But what do you think you can personally take away from a loss like that?
Well, we challenged Richmond the entire game, and I don't think there was a second that we could say that we stopped playing. And that's the most important thing when you're playing a team of that caliber.
Now, let's look at that game against the University of Massachusetts. You head up to your alma mater now. They're a team that was number 7 in the country coming into this game. And obviously the biggest thing there, you want to get an upset, but it's always nice to compete against some of these top-tier talents. What sort of thing were you looking for your team to do against the University of Massachusetts, and what do you think was the ultimate goal coming out of it?
Well, it was challenging for us playing away, and we certainly, the first 20 minutes of the game, we were a little bit scared, and unfortunately, we really couldn't possess the ball enough to make things happen early. And we did have some opportunities earlier in the game, but at that point, UMass really stepped up early, and I think that's something that we can learn from. Regardless of who we're playing and playing away, we have to come out with all the confidence that we have, and unfortunately we didn't do that at the beginning of UMass, and it took us a while before we really felt very comfortable playing up there. But when we did, we began to challenge, and we began to move the ball very well. But unfortunately at that point it was too late.
Now, by no means has your schedule been easy as terms of this non-conference slate. You take a top 5 Syracuse team on, now you take on UMass. Boston University has a possibility of being ranked when you take them on this week, and of course Maryland is a top 3 team in the country right now. So when you put together this schedule, you look at these teams that are top talent caliber in the NCAA. What is the message that you send to your team? How do you say to them, this is a team where we can go out there and try and compete against?
Well, importantly, when you're playing a challenging schedule that we have, it's about getting our players individually and collectively as a team playing stronger, playing harder, and playing at a higher level. And there is no other way to do that but to play the best that you can. In preparation for us to make it into the CAAs, to be in the top 4, you have to do that. So really that impacted our schedule in putting it together. But we are stepping every game that is put in front of us, we are learning from, and we are getting better and taking all the positives and certainly the weaknesses that we do have and working with those during the week of practice. So we are developing, and like I said, the schedule is challenging, but it's going in favor of us becoming a stronger team.
Now, focusing on some individual players, goaltender Caitlin DeTura has been the backbone of this defense so far this year. She had a couple of big saves against UMass and had a career high in saves against the University of Richmond, so a nice weekend for her. What do you like to see from your goaltender?
Well, she is the backbone, not just of our defense, but of our team, and we're really happy of one, the progress, but she is put under a tremendous amount of pressure, not just facing the initial shot, but also challenged with a new defense in front of her, and having to really be the catalyst and work with them on a daily basis. But I think what she's doing so well is she's really she has the patience with this defense, and because of that, it's really gelling, and it's clicking, and it's working so nicely because of that. But she is faced under a lot of pressure every game, but like I said, she's stepping to that, and she has great composure, and I think that's probably the strongest word I could say for her right now.
Now, as far as the schedule goes, I think we're close to the midpoint mark where we're just about to enter conference play, but we're still wrapping up the non-conference slate a little bit. So I want to go kind of position by position with you a little bit and just get one thing that you like and one thing that you dislike at this midpoint of the season. We'll start with the attack up front. We've really seen South Shern emerge as a secondary scorer to Janelle Boyle, but what do you think is the greatest asset you guys have on attack, and maybe something you want to improve on going forward?
Well, Janelle is our leader on the striker line, and one of the things that makes her such a leader is she can work with any player around her, and she makes players around her better. Her and Stella connect fantastically, and when they get the opportunity to create the attack up there, they're extremely dangerous. And I think it's a credit to Janelle and her experience and just the type of personality that she has. But like I said, I'm really excited with they're connecting, and we're really hoping that we can connect more with them.
Moving to the midfield, same question. What's something that so far at the midpoint of this season you've been very happy with, and something that maybe you want to see improved?
Well, we have a number of midfielders who are challenging every day for playing time and starting positions, and I think the great thing, we do have some depth in the midfield position. Anchoring that midfield right now is Charlotte Lohr and Marta Penas. And just to start with Marta Penas, she really in these last couple of weeks has really begun to emerge as a leader. She's doing some great things on the attack, but more importantly, she's worked very hard on her defense and gelling with the players around her. And anyone that plays around Marta knows that she's very easy to play with, and she really such a team player that it can make a lot of things happen. Charlotte's faced with quite a challenge this year in the central midfield position, obviously because of the schedule we are playing. Usually the players in the central midfield are the playmakers and some of the most powerful players there are. So she's faced with a lot of challenges, but she's doing a great job. She has endless work ethic, and she never ever stops playing. She is our catalyst, and she is our #1 leader in the center of the field, and she has a lot of responsibility. She's got to direct the attack, and she also has to direct the defense, and a very young defense. So there's quite a bit of pressure on Charlotte, but she's really stepping to that, and I can't ask any more for all the positiveness and the leadership that she's given us right now.
As far as that defense goes, let's switch it up a little bit. What do you think the biggest surprise has been for you this season, with it being so young?
Right. Well, absolutely, Krista Whitmer. We are this is a player to talk about here. Coming in 18 years old and starting at center back and just playing unbelievable. She has stepped towards every single challenge. She plays under an amazing pressure. Some of the best, Rebecca Barry of Richmond, is playing under amazing pressure, but plays as hard as she can, and she is executing back there, and she doesn't make many mistakes. We're not really so surprised because we knew when we were recruiting her the athletic ability and just her skill set and her leadership and confidence that she possesses. We knew that she'd have it, but to have her step up in her freshman year and to be in one of the most pressured positions on the field, we're really excited, and the future's so bright with her.
She's also picked up a couple of goals this season, so it always helps when your defense can score. But now let's move on to the games that you guys have coming this week. Start conference play with your first matchup in Boston against Northeastern University. Then you take on Boston University, a team who was number 12 in the country when you upset them at home last year. So how do you prepare for, first off, the start of CAA play, knowing that getting a victory would be so huge towards you guys making the conference tournament even this early on in the season, as well as how do you prepare for a very good and talented Boston University Terrier squad?
Right. Well, what we have been doing every day, and certainly our schedule has prepared us for this weekend. So, which is obviously the most important thing, and one of the reasons why we have this schedule. So it makes it a little bit easier when we're already playing some of the number 10 teams in the country, and then having to face that type of level, certainly coming into the CAAs with Northeastern right away. So our preparation has been daily, so as far as that goes, we are ready, and we're excited for this first CAA match, really.
Now, what do you guys have to do, simple as this, to get a couple of victories this weekend?
Well, we have to put together a lot of confidence from every single player out there, and we really have to play as a unit and continue and work on continuing to play a full 70-minute game. That's what's going to happen up at Northeastern, but we can do that, and I believe in them, and we need each other to believe in each other. So I think that's what it comes down to right now for Friday's match. But we are ready, and we're excited. We've had such a challenging schedule. We've worked so hard for for this, preparation for this game that, we're really excited just to have it happen.
Coach, thanks so much for the time. Best of luck this week. And Hofstra fans, remember you can tune into the WB Mason Coaches Report each and every week only here on GoHofstra.com.